Now we turn our attentions to St Vincent de Paul, and nationally the charity received over 260,000 requests for help, which was a record year for them, and this involved requests for helping with food bills, energy bills and even educational costs for children. I began by asking the president of the Clare branch of St Vincent de Paul, Denis Carty, if that situation was reflected on the ground in Clare.
So certainly the situation in Clare is very much as described there. We're seeing record numbers of people turning to the Society of St Vincent de Paul for assistance. We would have all received, I don't have the exact figure, but we received close to 5,000 requests for assistance last year, and that probably translates into about 1,500 households throughout the county. And those households, a lot of those households, most of them actually include children, so that affects thousands of people in County Clare. And it's something that we've observed over a number of years now. The demand that we're seeing has grown. It's twice what it was in 2020. And we're seeing families under real pressure, people that were in poverty and on low incomes and struggling, but we're seeing that move to people who are in work, who were reasonably comfortable or better off before. And they're struggling now with those increased energy bills, increased food bills, increased housing costs, the insecurity around rental situations, an enormous amount of people in private rental accommodation. It's the experience here in Clare is very much the experience that we've seen throughout the country. And I suppose this winter, and we're only halfway through the winter at this stage, and people are only beginning to get electricity bills. It just shows you the scale of the problem. We knew that when the temporary supports for energy and heating that the government had gave, well, when they were withdrawn, that there was going to be pressure. We had, as an organisation, asked government for a more strategic approach, a more long-term approach to helping people. And some positive things have been done, extending the fuel allowance payment to working families, people on the working family payment. That's great. But on the other hand, that fuel allowance payment does not go as far as it went in the past. So those things are real difficulties for the people that we're working with.
And once again, their food requests for help, highest ever. Similarly, with energy, you got over 33,000 requests for help last year.
Yes, we did, yes. And I suppose in terms of the food for people that are on low incomes and that are struggling, food is one of the largest components of their expenditure. And when people encounter a difficult economic situation in their household, a debt or a crisis with the family car or an electricity bill that has to be paid, there are very, very few options for them to cut. And food is one of those options. So that's where the pressure, where you can see that, and where many of the families we meet, it is around the food piece, that they don't have adequate income to put food on the table. In terms of energy, yes, that is a real problem for people. You know, you've seen there's record levels of people in arrears, something like 300,000 in electricity, households in electricity arrears. And we're only halfway through the winter, and people, as I said, are getting their bills now. And we know there are large numbers of people in the country on prepay meters. And these, while they can be effective in some situations, have the downside that people may, if they run out of money, may have to go without light and electricity for a few days until they get the next payment or whatever. So Vincent de Paul conferences, our members, when they go out and they meet families in their homes, they would encounter situations like that where people may be have a prepay meter they may have ran out of credit for that meter. The emergency credit may have expired. So our volunteers would try and assist families in those situations.
And of course, very generous support given to the organisation in Clare last year. And of course, with your annual Christmas appeal, you can actually choose again exactly where in the county you want your money to go. Your organisation spent up to €400,000 in Clare last year on fuel payments, on food supports, food vouchers to be exact, and educational costs for children in poverty as well. €400,000, it really shows the extent of the problem in Clare, but how far does that actually go, Denis?
Well, obviously, listen, we're only a charity. We're a local organisation, and we have branches right throughout the county, and we do our best. We can't stop the problem, and it's not up to us we don't have a magic wand that can change these situations, but we can help families that find themselves in a difficult situation, and we can help signpost them to services. So I'd say that to anybody that is in difficulty, not to be afraid to come forward, that Vincent de Paul exists for all people that are in need, regardless of your creed, your class, regardless of your address, of your background. We support anybody that's in need. We obviously can't magic up a permanent payment here to get you out of this situation, but we can support you. And I'd just like to say, in terms of that costs, in terms of the support that we give, I'd like to just express the gratitude of myself and all the members for the people that have responded to our Christmas appeal so positively. We've had support from schools, from businesses, from individuals, and we're very humbled and touched by that support, and to assure people that we do our best to ensure that support goes out to help people in need as best we can. And in particular, I'd just like to mention that the Lions Club here in Ennis, they gave us some support in their fuel poverty initiative, and we're very grateful for that support. And that support will be going out to people now in the next few weeks to help them through the winter.
And just finally, Denis, I understand you're looking for more help and more hands on deck to deal with growing demand. You're looking for volunteers.
Yes, we are. And I'd just like to appeal to people there that are listening this morning that, may have a few hours to spare in the week, that we'd love to hear from you. You can go to the svp.ie website and you can express your interest there about joining us and seeing the work that we do. We're looking for people, just ordinary people. We're not looking for superheroes. We're looking for people to work quietly, sensitively, confidentially within your local community. You get full support and training. There's Garda vetting. You'll never work alone. You will always be visiting people with another member of the society, and there's full support for people. And if you had that time, please, just explore the possibility of joining us. We'd love to hear from you. And as I said, you can look at the SVP website for that, or you can ring our office in Limerick and just leave your details there, and someone will get back to you, and you can ring them on 061 31 7327. That's 061 31 7327.
And that was my chat with Denis Carty, the president of the Clare branch of St. Vincent de Paul.